Ladies and gentlemen, greatness doesn't always start with a grand announcement or in the glow of ideal circumstances. In fact, it often begins in the most unlikely places, in adversity, in moments of hardship, in places where hope seems distant and the odds seem insurmountable. These are the places where true greatness is forged, where individuals discover their strength, and where purpose begins to take root. Adversity is not something anyone willingly seeks, but it is often where the seeds of greatness are planted. Life has a way of pressing us into situations that feel like dead ends: financial struggles, personal loss, rejection, or failure. These moments can feel overwhelming, like the weight of the world is pressing down on us and there's no way out. But it is precisely in these moments that something extraordinary begins to happen. Adversity strips away pretense, exposes weaknesses, and forces us just to confront our limitations. It reveals what we're made of and challenges us to dig deeper than we ever thought possible. When you're at rock bottom, you are faced with a choice. You can let the situation define you, break you, and keep you down, or you can rise up using the adversity as a stepping stone to something greater. Many of the most inspiring success stories we know began in hardship. People who had nothing, who were told they wouldn't make it, who faced insurmountable odds, refused to accept defeat. Instead, they turned their pain into purpose and their struggles into strength. There's a beauty in starting from nothing because it teaches you to rely not on what you have, but on who you are. When you have nothing, you learn to be resourceful. You learn to think creatively, to find solutions where none seem apparent, and to push past the barriers that others might accept as immovable. Starting from a place of difficulty forces you to focus on the essential. It sharpens your vision, clarifies your purpose, and drives you to work harder than you ever thought you could. You realize that while you may not control the circumstances you were born into or the challenges you face, you do control how you respond to them. Adversity also has a way of building resilience. Every time you get knocked down and decide to get back up, you grow stronger. Each setback you overcome equips you with the tools and experience to handle the next challenge. This resilience becomes a part of your character, a part of your story. It's the fire that refines you, removing the impurities of doubt, fear, and complacency, and leaving behind the pure essence of determination and grit. Greatness requires a foundation of humility and perseverance, and there's no better teacher of these qualities than adversity. When you've had to fight for every inch of progress, you develop an appreciation for the journey that others who've had it easy might lack. You learn to value the process, not just the destination, and this gives you the kind of wisdom and depth that inspires others. Adversity also connects you to something greater than yourself. When life knocks you down and you feel like you can't go on, it's often faith that gives you the strength to take the next step. Whether it's faith in God, faith in your vision, or faith in the possibilities that lie ahead, adversity challenges you to trust in something beyond what you can see. It's in these moments of trust that breakthroughs often occur. The very situations that were meant to break you become the catalyst for transformation, growth, and purpose. Moreover, adversity reminds us that success isn't about the absence of challenges, but about how we respond to them. It's about having the courage to keep going when the road is tough, the faith to believe in better days ahead, and the determination to turn setbacks into setups for a comeback. It's not about waiting for perfect conditions, but learning to thrive even in the storm. So, if you find yourself in a place of difficulty today, don't despise it. Don't let the darkness fool you into believing that there's no light ahead. The challenges you face today are shaping you for the greatness that lies ahead. The adversity you're enduring is refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the opportunities to come. Greatness doesn't begin on mountaintops, it begins in the valleys, in the struggle, in the moments when everything seems to be working against you. It begins in the quiet determination to rise, to keep going, to believe in the possibility of a brighter tomorrow. Greatness begins in adversity, and it's in those moments that the true measure of who you are is revealed. Keep pressing forward. Your story is just getting started. Starting from nothing can feel like an overwhelming disadvantage, a place of scarcity that leaves little room for hope. But when we strip away the fear and frustration of having little, we begin to see that starting with nothing is not a curse, it's an opportunity, a blank canvas where possibilities are endless. It's the ground floor of something extraordinary waiting to be built. When you begin with nothing, you are free from the weight of expectations and the constraints of preconceived notions. There's no template to follow, no pressure to live up to someone else's idea of success. Instead, you're given the unique chance to create your own story, to build something from the ground up that reflects your vision, your values, and your purpose. Starting from nothing is a gift because it teaches you to see what others might miss. It forces you to uncover the potential in places where most people only see emptiness. In these moments of beginning, resourcefulness becomes your greatest ally. Without the luxury of abundance, you're compelled to make the most of every opportunity, every small step forward. You become a creative thinker, an innovator, and a problem solver because you must be. Necessity has always been the mother of invention, and when you have nothing, necessity is ever present. Those who start from nothing are the ones who find unconventional solutions, who learn to adapt, and who turn obstacles into stepping stones. Starting from nothing also sharpens your focus. When you don't have distractions or excess to lean on, you begin to prioritize what truly matters. You can't afford to waste time or energy on things that don't align with your goals. This clarity of purpose allows you to pursue your dreams with an intensity that others who may take their starting points for granted often lack. It's in this focus that the seeds of success are planted. The beauty of starting from nothing is that it reveals the power of small beginnings. We live in a world obsessed with overnight success, but real success is rarely instant. It's built brick by brick, one small effort at a time. And when you have nothing, you learn to appreciate the value of those small efforts. You understand that progress, no matter how incremental, is still progress. Every victory, no matter how small, is worth celebrating because it brings you one step closer to your goals. Moreover, starting from nothing cultivates resilience. When you face scarcity and overcome it, you develop a strength that cannot be shaken. You've learned how to navigate challenges, how to endure when the path ahead seems unclear, and how to keep moving forward when others might give up. This resilience becomes a part of who you are. It shapes your character and gives you the confidence to face future obstacles with unwavering determination. There's also a humility that comes from starting with nothing. When you've had to build from scratch, you don't take success for granted. You remember the struggles, the sacrifices, and the effort it took to get where you are. This humility keeps you grounded and helps you stay connected to your roots no matter how far you go. It also gives you the compassion to reach back and help others who are just starting out because you understand what it feels like to be in their shoes. Faith plays a crucial role when you're starting from nothing. It's faith that allows you to believe in what you can't yet see, to trust in possibilities that others might doubt. Faith gives you the courage to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, and to keep going even when the path ahead seems uncertain. It's this faith that turns what looks like nothing into something remarkable. Starting from nothing is an opportunity to rewrite the narrative. It's a chance to prove that success isn't determined by where you begin, but by how you respond to the challenges along the way. It's not about what you have, it's about what you're willing to do with what you've been given. The most incredible stories are often those of people who had every reason to give up but chose instead to rise, to push forward, and to create something extraordinary out of what seemed like nothing. So if you find yourself starting from scratch, don't despair. Embrace the opportunity before you. See the possibilities that others might overlook. Recognize the strength and resilience that are being cultivated within you. Trust that every step you take, no matter how small, is building something greater than you can imagine. Starting from nothing is not the end, it's the beginning. It's a powerful place to be because it means the only way to go is up. Your future isn't determined by what you lack, but by what you're willing to do with the opportunity you have. So take that first step, no matter how small it seems, and keep going. Greatness is waiting to be built, and it starts right where you are. Persistence is one of the most underrated yet powerful forces in life. It is the quiet resolve to keep going when circumstances scream for you to stop. It is the inner strength to rise again after every fall, to keep moving forward despite setbacks, and to press on when the odds are stacked against you. Persistence is not about talent or luck. It's about the relentless determination to see a vision through, no matter how long it takes or how difficult the road becomes. Life is filled with challenges and no one is exempt from them. At every turn, there are obstacles that threaten to derail our progress and shake our resolve. These challenges come in many forms: failure, rejection, fatigue, or even the voices of doubt within ourselves. But the difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to one thing: persistence. The people who accomplish their goals aren't necessarily the most talented or the best equipped. They are the ones who refuse to give up. They are the ones who choose to try one more time, even after 100 failed attempts. Persistence teaches us the value of resilience. Every time we push through difficulty, we grow stronger. We learn to endure, to adapt, and to keep our eyes on the prize no matter how distant it may seem. Each step forward, no matter how small, brings us closer to our goals. And in the process, we develop a kind of toughness, of mental and emotional strength no amount of success can give us. It is in the moments of struggle that we are refined, shaped, and prepared for the success that lies ahead. One of the greatest truths about persistence is that it often leads to breakthroughs when we least expect them. There is a moment when the effort feels unbearable, when quitting seems like the only reasonable choice. But persistence is what gets you through that moment. And it's often on the other side of that discomfort that the doors of opportunity open. The things that once seemed impossible begin to take shape, and you realize that your determination was the key to unlocking them. Success rarely comes quickly or easily, but it rewards those who are willing to stick it out and keep pushing forward. Persistence also builds credibility, not just with others, but with ourselves. When we remain steadfast in the face of challenges, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of enduring more than we thought. This sense of self-trust is invaluable because it carries over into every aspect of life. We begin to see challenges not as insurmountable walls, but as hurdles that can be overcome with patience and effort. We develop the confidence to take on bigger risks, knowing that we have what it takes to keep going no matter what. Another remarkable thing about persistence is that it inspires others. When people see someone who refuses to quit despite setbacks, it ignites something in them. Persistence is contagious. It encourages those around us to persevere in their own struggles. Your determination to keep going doesn't just affect your life, it creates a ripple effect that touches everyone who watches your journey. You become a living testament to the power of perseverance and the possibility of success against all odds. However, persistence isn't just about blind endurance. It's about being intentional, strategic, and focused in your efforts. It's about learning from failures, adjusting your approach, and finding new ways to move forward. True persistence isn't stubbornness. It's a combination of resolve and wisdom. It's the willingness to keep going while also being flexible enough to grow and adapt along the way. Faith often plays a crucial role in persistence. When the journey gets tough and the end goal feels out of reach, faith keeps us grounded. It reminds us that there's a purpose to our struggle and that the work we're doing is not in vain. Faith gives us the strength to endure the waiting periods, the silent seasons when progress feels slow or non-existent. It fuels our belief that the effort we're putting in now will bear fruit in time. Persistence doesn't mean the road will be easy. In fact, it often means embracing difficulty, enduring discomfort, and continuing to press on even when the reward isn't immediate. But it's precisely this willingness to persevere that separates those who merely dream from those who achieve. The road may be long, but persistence ensures that the journey doesn't end before the destination is reached. Every story of success is a story of persistence. Behind every achievement lies countless hours of effort, moments of doubt, and decisions to keep going when quitting seemed easier. If there's one thing that can carry you through the challenges of life, it's the power of persistence. It doesn't require perfection or ease. It only requires that you show up again and again with the resolve to keep moving forward. So wherever you are today, whatever you're facing, remember this: persistence is your greatest ally. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Keep going, even when it's hard. Keep going, even when it feels like you're making no progress. Because persistence will not only get you to your goal, it will transform you along the way. Obstacles are an inevitable part of any meaningful journey, They appear in different forms: unexpected setbacks, personal struggles, external challenges, or moments of doubt. Yet they are not roadblocks meant to stop us. They are stepping stones designed to strengthen us. Obstacles refine our character, sharpen our focus, and teach us lessons that no smooth path could ever offer. Far from being a hindrance, obstacles are often the very tools that prepare us for the success we seek. The presence of obstacles should never be a surprise. Anything worth pursuing will come with challenges. These challenges are part of the process, the unspoken price of growth and achievement. Just as a seed must push through the soil to reach the sunlight, we too must face resistance to grow into the people we are meant to be. The journey to success is not a straight, effortless line, but a winding path filled with hurdles that test our commitment, resilience, and creativity. Obstacles serve an essential purpose. They force us to pause, evaluate, and recalibrate. When things don't go as planned, we're often compelled to look at our situation from a new perspective. This process fosters creativity, encouraging us to think outside the box and find solutions we may never have considered otherwise. Some of the greatest innovations, breakthroughs, and moments of clarity arise from the pressure of dealing with an obstacle. It's through the process of overcoming these barriers that we develop the resourcefulness and ingenuity needed for greater challenges ahead. There's also a deeper wisdom in the obstacles we encounter. They reveal our weaknesses and areas where we need to grow. If everything came easily, we might never identify the gaps in our skills, knowledge, or character. Obstacles highlight these gaps and provide us with an opportunity to address them. For example, a failed attempt at a goal might expose a lack of preparation, leading us to refine our approach. A moment of rejection might teach us resilience or push us to hone our craft. In this way, obstacles act as mirrors, reflecting the areas where we can improve and pushing us to become better versions of ourselves. One of the most powerful lessons obstacles teach us is the value of persistence. Every time we face a challenge and decide to keep going, we build resilience. This resilience is like a muscle; it grows stronger with use. The more we overcome, the more confident we become in our ability to handle whatever comes next. Each victory, no matter how small, adds to our strength and reinforces the belief that we are capable of reaching our destination, no matter how difficult the journey. Obstacles also have a way of deepening our faith. When we find ourselves in situations that seem insurmountable, we often have no choice but to lean on something greater than ourselves. Whether it's faith in God, in the vision we're pursuing, or in the potential of a brighter future, obstacles push us to trust in the unseen. They remind us that we're not in control of every detail, and that sometimes the best thing we can do is keep moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. Another important truth about obstacles is that they are not permanent. In the heat of the moment, a challenge can feel overwhelming, as though it will never end. But obstacles are temporary. They are seasons, not destinations. Just as storms pass, so do difficulties. What matters is how we navigate them. Do we let them stop us, or do we find a way to press on? The choice is always ours, and the way we respond to obstacles shapes the outcome of our journey. It's also worth remembering that obstacles make success more meaningful. When we finally achieve our goals, the struggles we've endured along the way add depth to the joy we feel. The victories we fought for are the ones we treasure most. Without obstacles, success would lose its significance. It's the challenges we overcome that make the journey worthwhile and the reward sweeter. Obstacles also have the power to inspire others. When people see someone face challenges head on and persevere, it stirs something within them. Your willingness to confront obstacles doesn't just impact your journey, it creates a ripple effect that touches those around you. You become a source of encouragement, a living example that challenges can be overcome and dreams can be achieved. So if you find yourself facing an obstacle today, don't see it as the end of the road. See it for what it truly is: a part of the journey, a necessary challenge that is shaping you for what lies ahead. Obstacles are not there to defeat you. They are there to prepare you, strengthen you, and equip you for the opportunities to come. Embrace them, learn from them, and let them propel you forward. The journey is worth it, and so are you. Faith over fear is more than just a phrase. It is a way of living, a mindset that shifts the balance of power within us. It is the conscious decision to trust in what we cannot yet see rather than being paralyzed by what we do. Fear, by its very nature, is limiting. It traps us in cycles of doubt, insecurity, and hesitation. But faith, on the other hand, is liberating. It opens doors to possibilities, fills us with courage, and allows us to move forward even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Fear is a natural emotion. It is hardwired into us as a survival mechanism meant to protect us from danger. But in our modern lives, fear often goes beyond its purpose, taking root in places where it doesn't belong. We fear failure, rejection, or stepping out of our comfort zones. We fear the unknown and what lies ahead. This fear can become a prison, keeping us from pursuing our dreams, building meaningful relationships, or living with purpose. But faith is the key to unlocking that prison. It's the power that enables us to take steps forward despite the fear whispering in our ears. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is the courage to act in spite of it. It is the belief that there is something greater at work, that our lives have a purpose beyond our understanding. Faith doesn't mean that challenges won't come or that the path will always be clear. It means trusting that even in the face of uncertainty, there is a reason for the journey and a plan for our lives. Faith reminds us that we are never walking alone. There is a higher power guiding us, even when we can't see the way forward. One of the most empowering aspects of faith is that it shifts our focus. Fear keeps our eyes fixed on the problem. It magnifies the obstacles, the risks, and the potential for failure. Faith, however, redirects our gaze to the possibilities. It reminds us of what is possible when we trust, persevere, and move forward. Faith doesn't ignore the challenges, but it refuses to let them define us. It whispers to us that there is more to our story, that this moment is just one chapter in a much larger narrative. Faith also has the power to transform our mindset. When we choose faith over fear, we are no longer driven by anxiety about what might go wrong. Instead, we are energized by hope for what could go right. This shift allows us to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to embrace opportunities that we might otherwise shy away from. Faith empowers us to see setbacks as stepping stones and failures as lessons. It turns what seems like an ending into the beginning of something new. Choosing faith over fear doesn't mean the journey will be easy. In fact, faith often calls us to step into places of discomfort, to take leaps that feel risky or uncertain, but it's in those moments that faith proves its power. It gives us the courage to step out, trusting that the ground will meet our feet even when we cannot see it. Fear says, what if I fall? Faith responds, what if you fly? Faith over fear also reminds us that our strength doesn't come solely from within. When we rely only on ourselves, the weight of fear can feel unbearable. But faith connects us to something greater, whether it's God, the universe, or the belief in the goodness of life. This connection gives us the strength to keep going when our own reserves are depleted. It reminds us that we don't have to have all the answers or see the entire path ahead. We only need to take the next step, trusting that the way will be revealed as we move forward. Another incredible aspect of faith is how it impacts those around us. When we choose to live by faith, we inspire others to do the same. Our courage becomes a light in the darkness, a beacon of hope that shows others what is possible when we trust in something greater. Faith is not just a personal act, it is a communal gift. By choosing faith over fear, we create ripples of courage and hope that extend far beyond ourselves. Fear will always try to find its way into our lives. It will whisper that the risks are too great, the challenge is too overwhelming, the unknown too dangerous. But we have the choice to silence those whispers with faith. We can choose to trust that the journey we're on has a purpose, that the struggles we face are shaping us, and that the opportunities ahead are worth the risks. Faith gives us the strength to move forward, even when fear tries to hold us back. In the end, choosing faith over fear is what allows us to live fully. It frees us from the chains of doubt and fills us with the courage to pursue our dreams, embrace the unknown, and trust in the greater plan for our lives. It reminds us that fear is temporary, but the rewards of faith are eternal. So step forward with faith even when fear is present. Trust in what you cannot see and know that the best is yet to come. Refuse to let beginnings define endings, because where you start does not determine where you can go. Life is full of stories that begin in obscurity, difficulty, or struggle, but end in triumph, growth, and transformation. Your beginning is not your destiny, it is simply the starting line. Too often we allow our circumstances, limitations, or past failures to dictate the possibilities of our future. But the truth is, the power to shape our endings lies not in where we start, but in the choices we make along the way. Every great achievement in history began somewhere, often in humble or unremarkable places. The most celebrated figures were not born into success, they fought for it, persevered through challenges, and refused to let their origins limit their vision. What separates those who rise above their beginnings from those who don't is the decision to believe that their story can be rewritten. They understand that the past does not define the future, and where they come from does not limit where they can go. Beginnings, no matter how small or difficult, are just that, beginnings. They are not conclusions or final verdicts. A challenging start may feel like a disadvantage, but it can also be a powerful motivator. Struggles and setbacks often teach us lessons that smooth paths cannot. They cultivate resilience, resourcefulness, and determination. The difficulties you face early on can become the very foundation for the strength and perseverance you'll need to achieve your dreams. When you refuse to let your beginning define your ending, you turn those difficulties into stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. The journey from beginning to ending is rarely linear. Along the way, there will be detours, obstacles, and moments when progress feels slow or non-existent. These moments can be discouraging, but they are also opportunities to grow, adapt, and learn. Every setback is a chance to reassess, to try again, and to approach the challenge with a new perspective. Growth happens in the process, not just in the destination. By refusing to let beginnings dictate endings, you embrace the journey as an essential part of your story. It's also important to recognize that your beginning does not define your potential. Where you start says nothing about what you are capable of achieving. Potential is not bound by circumstances, it is bound by mindset. When you choose to believe in your ability to rise above your circumstances, you unlock the door to endless possibilities. The world is full of stories of people who began with not something extraordinary because they refused to accept that their starting point was their limit. Your beginning might come with challenges, but those challenges can become your greatest teachers. They teach you to value progress, to celebrate small victories, and to find strength in perseverance. They show you what you're made of and prepare you for the bigger battles ahead. The grit and determination you develop in the face of adversity are skills that will serve you for a lifetime. When you refuse to let your beginnings define your endings, you transform challenges into opportunities for growth. Another key to refusing to let beginnings define endings is embracing the power of choice. Every day you have the opportunity to make choices that shape your future. You can choose to dwell on the limitations of your beginning, or you can choose to focus on the possibilities ahead. You can choose to let failure discourage you, or you can choose to let it motivate you. The power to change your story lies in the decisions you make, not the circumstances you were born into or the mistakes you've made in the past. Faith also plays a crucial role in breaking free from the limitations of beginnings. Faith allows you to see beyond your current circumstances, to trust in a future that is greater than your past. It reminds you that there is a purpose to your journey and that every step, no matter how small, is leading you closer to your destination. Faith gives you the courage to dream big, to take risks, and to believe in the possibilities of tomorrow, even when today feels uncertain. When you refuse to let beginnings define endings, you also inspire others to do the same. Your journey becomes a testament to the power of perseverance and belief. It shows others that it's not where you start that matters, but where you're willing to go. Your story becomes a source of hope and encouragement for those who may feel trapped by their own beginnings. So wherever you are in your journey, remember this: your beginning is just one part of your story. It does not dictate your ending. You have the power to shape your future through your choices, your persistence, and your belief in what is possible. Don't let your starting point limit your vision or your potential. Refuse to let your beginning define your ending, and watch as the story of your life unfolds in ways you never thought possible. The best chapters are still ahead.